everyone, Holly here from Speak About Speech Pathology. I just thought I'd jump on and chat about the early verb point. Now we've spoken about show and give. The next one that we'll do is point. So point is super important to be able to follow instructions, but also to highlight extra things that are going on that the child wants to show you. So for example, we would start by getting the child to point to different things. You might have to move their hand, show them how to make their finger into a pointing finger, and then ask them to point to different things. So I usually start with toys and I get them to point to specific toys that I say. So for example, I would say, point to pig. The child is point to the pig. Point to cow. Child is to point to the cow. Point to horse. The child is to point to the horse. So you might have to hold their hand and help them point as you go from each object. The other thing that we can do to help improve the child's ability to point is get them to point to different parts of their body. Point to your head, point to your eyes, point to your shoulder, point to your mouth, point to your nose. This is super, super helpful for children when they hurt themselves as well. We often give them instructions to point to where it hurts or point to which part is sore, and then they can point to that different part if they've fallen off their bike. So pointing is another really important verb to know for them to be able to follow those instructions. Once we keep adding more complex parts to the instructions, such as point to the drawing that is yours, they need to listen and understand all of those other different parts in the sentence. They need to understand the word yours, the drawing, plus all the other specific information that we're giving them in that instruction. So if your child is struggling to point to something just on its own, they're not going to be able to understand all of those other important parts of the message as well. And then they're not going to be able to follow the instruction. So super important that you do just work on it by itself initially, and then you can increase it to some larger and more complex instructions.